Unfortunately, a being of my status still gets smote, or smited rather. It's true. It's a dang shame. I mean, who would dare, who would deign to smite me? What god would try? Does Shrek count as a demigod? I mean, definitely. This shows who the strongest god was. Guess we weren't the son of Bo. Now that's our problem right there. We weren't the son of the true god. We're gonna try Wanderer one last time. Let's go for it, since it's getting close to the end of our evening here. Let's just have some fun, shall we? Maybe Wanderer's cursed? Well, we'll find out definitively with this run here. You heard it here first, folks. Are Demigod Wanderers indeed cursed? Stay tuned to find out. But okay, who do we want to go for now? I mean, I was going to go with Achilles, but let's scroll up to where the suggestions came firing down here so that I can just steal something from chat instead. Hercules, or no, let's go with, oh gosh darn it. Just Ku. We are Ku colon, of course, but throughout that when you have an option selected, hitting the spacebar definitely just plops you in. But okie dokie, we're ready to rumble, so let's do it, shall we? All the usual routine. Back after a few hours, was the vamp run a success? It was crackety, though it tried its best to throw us under the bus at the end. We have Ignite Poison again this time. How about that? Let's maybe start training some poison magic. Jeez, my key hitting prowess is at an all-time low for a reason at the end of the stream here. Just missing everything left and right. But let's train fighting up out just so smidge. Spellcasting and everything else, and we'll give it a shot. Did I start with Petrify's Need? Maybe some stabby stab? Would be nice. For now, we just have a sling and only 19 sling bullets, so hopefully can do alright with that. I should use regular stones for now. Also, though, should definitely do a dump file and plop that down real quick. Every time I see her name is just Ku. I mean, my father likes to call me Ku Cullen, but I just go by Ku with my friends, you know? I'm a pretty relaxed demigod. Pretty cool like that. Okie dokie. You know, the sling start is actually probably going to be pretty solid. I'm kind of liking this thus far. We could get a bunch of sling bullets or slightly better sling. That would be nice, but I'm not going to get too greedy about it. You have a sling. Would you like some bolts, son? Oka, probably, I'm guessing. Definitely an Oka quote. But should be able to do the equivalent of alt-tabbing our way through the early game here. Plus 2 Dagger of Distortion. Oh, geez Louise. I'm so tempted to wield that, but I know that's just begging to be sent to the abyss when we eventually want to switch it out for the artifact Lajitang that we're going to again find on D2. One can dream. Wouldn't be 2 runs in a row, but it would be 2 winning characters in a row that had artifact Lagitangs on D2, so that would be nice. Probably will switch up to short sword here. In fact, let's do a quick readjustment. Put that son of a gun on B. Perfect. Please, Mr. Cullen was my father. I'm just Ku. You can call me Ku. Okie dokie, 48% chance to hit. I mean, slightly better than the alternative. It's 21% chance at failure, though, which isn't great. So instead, we're going to swap over to sling bullets and just hope we murder you. Perfect. I think we will keep dumping in intelligence. Ooh, do not enter explore mode. Do not pass go. But we do have Ignite Poison, so I'm hoping that we can potentially lean into a bit of a poison explosion kind of build later down the road here. Summoning? Probably not too interested early on. Just brand it easy. See, that would be nice. If we could get the 3 brand scrolls before D3 on this character, that would be perfect. But fine, I'll be more diligent and I'll actually hide away. Oh, I should have done it when I had more health so I could at least use the auto fling. And it's so close. We'll take you upstairs, and then that way we can swap back to ye old regular stones like a caveman over here, and perfect. Pick up all this nonsense, and we are still just cruising on our way. Having the early sling definitely makes the early game just a lot faster because you're not having to cross the distance, or more likely back away and let enemies come to you if you're playing optimally. And instead, you're just standing your ground and becoming a full-fledged Gatling gun of stones here. Maybe we should be slightly careful. Ooh, short sword of electrocution though. I would love to take that from your cold dead hands. Perfect. So kind of you to just let me do so. But let us quickly adjust that to now be our swap weapon. Fantastic. You son of a gun. Switch to sling bullets. Maybe electrocution is the way to go. I don't know. Not great odds of hitting you, but if I hit you once, you're dead. Perfect. And not too shabby. Let's just get a roll in here. I'm trying not to play too fast, especially, okay, you see orcs? This time, let's not make the same mistakes as our forebears. Don't know if I could take Terrence. I feel like I could. You don't have good evasion, do you, son? You know, it's not going as well as I thought. 5 damage plus your mace. Oh, don't random energy towards me and we're okay. Come on, Ku. Get ready for death. Oh my gosh, how did you know, Terrence? Okay, this is good. We're getting it all out of the way early on. Oh, why do I do this? Get ready for death, splat, indeed. I mean, he just knew. He just knew. But hey, maybe Wanderer is cursed. Let's try out something a little bit more focused to begin with, shall we? I mean, Fire Elementalist, Nice Elementalist. I was about to say are my best starts, but Earth Elementalist is also up there. That's not right when enemies call their shot on you. Definitely a brutal one, but highly deserved when I'm just constantly tapping into these early game fights without too much concern for my health. I made you think that I was concerned for my health by backing away from the orc, and then, again, I hit you with a double whammy. You never know what to expect here on this channel, as I stupidly instead put myself to death. Unfortunately, I'm now running the risk of making that the expected behavior, so the only logical thing to do next is to just win this run first try. And it's just going to be that easy. So let's see, I'm probably torn between fire and ice, but if anybody has anything they would specifically like to see, speak now or forever hold your peace. Otherwise, this coin is going to be the deciding, the de facto dictator of which background we start with. There we go. Words eventually coalesced in my head. It got there. Alright, we'll give it just a few seconds. Gives me a nice excuse, I guess, to actually take more sips out of my drink. Hydrate and all that good stuff. Definitely something we're in need. Ice or Venom is where you lean? Hunter from Colgate? Maybe we'll queue up Hunter for a future one, but I'm gonna go with the Mage start to end off today here. Just try and get either some progress or another early death. Honestly, it's whatever floats our Demigod's boat here. Alright, I'll go probably try out Ice here right away, since that's in the two that I was debating as well. And I do love me some Frozen Ramparts, so let's hop into it. And then who is... Oh, I guess I could get more specific here. with demigods. And maybe should have done this before. I guess it's hard with Wanderer start. Can I think of any cold-based demigods off the top of my head? I don't even know. I'm blanking on everyone. I mean, what's his face in Cocytus is technically a demigod, I believe. Go with Shiva. Could go with Shiva. Is Shiva's, that's not in the ice branch of things, is it? Or I know nothing about Shiva, if that's not abundantly clear. Again, that I should add that to my list of things to Google, because I love mythology in general. So let's go for it, shall we? Oh, it's a summon in Final Fantasy that's all icy? Perfect, that works too. It's also a mythological figure, or they are, right? Shiva, something like that. Again, just putting my ignorance on full display. Perfect. But let's start training up all the usual culprits here. Ice will probably come up. I think it's a Hindu god. Okay, that's the one I was thinking of. Jon Snow. I don't know. I like to know things, so I feel like that's antithetical. Because you know nothing, of course. Shiva is the Hindu god of destruction, you believe? Okay. That makes sense. So perfect, exactly what we're going for. And last but not least, let's do a quick dump file here. Bring up yet another name. I've notepads for Perseus, Ku, and Shiva now. All on my second monitor. Just reminders, really nailing in the regret that we've put so many of these heroes to the death. Yeah, I think that makes sense that Vishnu is the one with the elephant head. Is Shiva, multi-armed? Blue goddess? Or, I guess, Kali? Is that Kali? I don't know. I like mythology a lot, but I'm definitely a little bit ignorant when it comes to all the cultures, so it's definitely something I would like to know and would like to learn more about. Ulysses on deck, guys. You called dibs. No, we'll never get the chance, unfortunately. I'm sorry to say, Safid, but Shiva here is going to wreak havoc on the dungeon and just win. But it's sweet of you to give another name just in case. You know, on that tiny opportunity that maybe, just maybe, I do something silly, stupid, maybe all of the above. Oh, and do you know what the actual problem is here? I didn't do the usual introduction to the species. Of course I couldn't win on any of those other ones because we weren't there yet. So the big things with Demigod, of course, as you may have noticed already, is that we are unable to worship any of the deities in the game, so we don't get that early game power boost that oftentimes gets you into the mid game and roll and beyond. To compare, or to alleviate those issues, we instead, at the level ups 3, 6, what have you, we get 4 attribute points, all gone into the same attribute, whatever we happen to choose. So you definitely have a pretty steep little bump in power, and on top of that, we have pretty decent health. I think it's like plus 10% health. You have extra magic power, including 2 extra magic points just on startup. So it means that these magical starts are actually a bit more consistent than a lot of the other ones. Or than they are on a lot of other characters, because you can actually whip out 5 of these freezes at level 1, which is pretty huge. And then I think those are the main things. I'm probably forgetting some stuff. But no, that looks, you shall have no god before yourself. See, I think you're right then, Safid. You prefer to think of it as we just worship ourselves. Exactly. Much like in real life, my character just worships themselves as a deity. Perfect. Oopsie daisies, let's not do that. You don't like Demigod? You can't worship Jivia? Literally unplayable. And you, am I okay? I'm never okay. depending on your perspective on it, I guess. I'm always okay in terms of just being honky-dory and fantastic feeling. Am I okay when it comes to having sensical human thoughts, behaviors, what have you? Little bit less so. And it's not acute, I'm not like other boys, tee-hee. It is like, I am alternatively way too nerdy to get along with, and pedantic, and dumb as nails. It's perfect. You're asking the slime lover? No, that's just the regular old routine. With Colgate. If it's not Jivia, then what's the point, you know? I would expect nothing less. Colgate, never change. Okie dokie, how are we coming along? By level 3, we should actually have both of the next spells castable thanks to the intelligence boost, so that's going to be absolutely fantastic here. You can already see that starting with a real background instead of Wanderer definitely helps a heck of a lot. I feel like just being able to freeze enemies to death in the early dungeon gets rid of a lot of the concerns we were having of actually having to fight things and, you know, do any of the heavy lifting ourselves. Goblin and Demigod smacking on a bush for 5 million turns. The battle of the century. And I would have it no other way. Perfect, and there we are with level 3, huge int boosts, feeling like a 5 head over here. Perfect. Disrespect for Wanderer. Whoa, whoa, whoa. No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. It was just a slip of the tongue, you see. A fleeting fancy. I will never throw disrespect on the Wanderers in name ever again. But okie dokie, let's learn some Frozen Ramparts, let's learn some Ozukubus. Never mind, I don't have that many spell levels. Like expected. Totally knew that. A Freudian slip, exactly. No, you got it there, Colgate. But a mere moment of me losing my mind. It won't happen again. Sorry. Sorry, Chef. Sorry, Chef. Thank you, Chef. But okie dokie, now that the moment of insanity has passed, and we are back to our Wanderer respecting ways, let's maybe start to think about how the run is going. Ooh. What do I do with you, mon frere? If we can get Frozen Ramparts up, you die pretty quick. But that does be the question, so let's just leave that stairwell for now and head to this one instead. Well, we're in for a wild ride. Oh, I almost went down that stairs immediately, but no, let's go here, shall we? I think this is our best bet with how nasty all of those are, and it's not good. Lethally poisoned. And you're not dying quite as fast as I need you to. Again, like I said, no problems whatsoever with a caster start. Are you kidding me? It's gonna be easy. Potion of Degeneration. That's exactly what I was kind of hoping for. And while like one-shotted, it's rough for sure. But this is going to be either curing or heal wounds, and we'll be fine. It was heal wounds, but we are very much not fine. Oh, level 4 though? Yes! The level up gave us just enough health to survive. You don't think the health bar is supposed to be that color? You may be onto something there, but perfect. Never a single doubt in my mind, of course. It's honestly embarrassing that some of you thought we were going to die there. I would never be caught out like that, thinking something so obviously wrong. Oh, jeez. Oh, what a start to the run. Hello, Terrence. So we meet again. I mean, this time I'm actually slightly better in terms of, dealing with you, even though that might just be the ye old hubris talking once more. So what can I do? Charm ya? Throw some rocks at ya? feel like no matter how we slice and dice it, we're gonna have to make it work here. Terrence, if you could step right into my office here. My office of death, of course. Perfect. Hello again, Terrence, indeed. Much more manageable this time, though. Fantastic. I am still worried about that ogre. In fact, hold up. Wait a minute. Let me put an exception up in it. Awesome. Doesn't quite roll off the tongue as much as the original lyrics, but I do what I can. Jeez Louise. Wanted to give the Scorpion a handicap, so I drank degen for it. I mean, honestly, yeah, when you're a half god wandering around, you know, with all these mere mortals, you gotta fool around a little bit. You know, just to feel what it's like to have even the slightest chance of death. 50% chance to charm ya. Cool. I didn't want to anyway. So that's awesome. That's exactly what we were hoping for here. If you could just stay back, not because I'm scared or anything, but you know, just it's still kind of COVID times. It's still around, as much as we like to pretend it's not. So let's you know, have some nice distance. Perfect. Thank you, my ogre friend. Test your might. No. Stormform induces very much hubris. In that Wanderer game, I was not even close to casting it. Just saw it shop and got hubris. It's a real shame, real tragedy. But it was, in fact, Stormform's fault that I died on that character. You know, I didn't want to play the blame game, so I was going to just let it slide. But unfortunately, that's just the truth of the matter. And I'm glad you brought it out to the light of day. It's a weight off my chest, now that everyone knows the truth, of course. Can you have both Frozen Ramparts and Slime Ramparts up at once? Probably not. I would imagine not, but imagine if you could. The single greatest wall-based character you would ever did see. Would be truly incredible stuff. Don't really want to fight a freaking phantom. But hey, we'll have to see. Depends on whether there's anywhere else for us to go. All of our upstairs are in this one little isolated area, so there's not a great chance of getting away from that son of a gun if they do start coming our way. You've never cast Frozen Ramparts as Divya Worshipper, but Slime Ramparts makes it quite redundant. Can accidentally hit slimes. That's true as well. You definitely don't want to do that. Ruin your entire game. Okie dokie. Jeez Louise. This is an interesting little level to say the least. I would like to freeze you for sure. Fantastic. And just more of the same, or not. There we go, more of the same. I do love me some Frozen Ramparts. Ooh, you are going to be annoying. More Hound Skeletons. Exactly what I hoped for this Christmas. I guess you're just very resistant to cold. You still technically take some damage. It's quite literally something. Perfect. Venom Whip also not exactly doing us wonders in that regard. Frozen Ramparts, Scuba's armor once more. 9 AC is at least hopefully enough to deal with you sons of guns. There we go. Fantastic. Never a doubt. Do the lungs of Zot 5 ever have loot? That's an interesting question that I never really thought of. I think so. And Cocktail the Slimes 8, the plus 14 halberd you wanted. You'll never forget them. Oof. Definitely is a bit of a transgression there for sure. Jeez Louise. E4 is where things get a little more serious, huh? How about that? Well, what do we wish to do? Maybe head up this way. Hope that the Phantom is now trading places with us, heading down. It seemed like that was its trend, its trajectory at the very least. One can dream. You're just here to talk about Rampart. If we could all keep questions on point. Yeah, here at the Rampart convention, we actually would prefer to stay on topic as much as possible. I know everyone has lots of burning questions that they've been holding on to for the past while, but you know, if you could keep it to yourself temporarily. Gosh darn it, do you ever counter us? I guess Ozakubu's armor is still half decent. Because then our one hit that we do take is likely to be minimal. Or I guess the hit that ends up zooping us off somewhere random. Perfect. Oh, I failed it. I miscast it. Oh, geez. That's not good. Oh, gosh. Don't random energy towards me. You can't do that. You're not fast or anything, right? Oh, you can fly, though. Which is kind of the sneaky... What's your favorite rampart? You're partial to horns? Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't think there's any ifs, ands, or buts about that, right? Are requirement scrolls affected by your background at all? Yes and no, because I think they're affected by your skill training, which is affected by your background, so there's a bit of a cascade effect. But today is not our day for starting off runs, apparently. Holy moly. Jeez Louise. No, exactly. Like Colgate says, indirectly in your early game for sure. Oof, though. That's a bit rough. Affected by skill training, the items you've seen. I always forget about the items you've seen part. Next week we'll sport some more points. Well, we'll sport so much harder than the other team sports, and you know, I think that's really the problem, is that we went out there, we tried our best, but we just didn't sport hard enough, and so, you know, we're just going to really dig in, we're going to dig deep, and we're going to just sport, you know, our lives out. Give some thanks to God, of course, as all sports do. Okie dokie, do we want to bash our face into this brick wall one more time for today? Or are we just about done? Let's go with one more. Probably won't get very far in it because we do have to wrap up relatively soon here, of course, but it would be nice to get a little bit more momentum. One more for the owls, only because you asked so nicely, Cocktail. Perfect. You found Demigod hard, Eggly. You base a lot of your characters around what god they want to worship. That's definitely fair enough. But I think this time around we'll go with Fire Elementalist. It's not quite a human railbird, so I hope you'll forgive me, but I'm still going to gain some inspiration from you. Go with the Demigod Fire Elementalist. I guess we're doubly crossing your standards because we're not human and we have no chance of worshipping Sif, so I apologize for the transgressions, but let's give it a shot here, shall we, with Fire Elementalist. And so, who should we name ourselves after here? We haven't done... Oh, Ulysses was up next. Right. Oh, geez, can I spell Ulysses without having to look back through chat? Is it 2 L's or 1? Ulysses? I don't know if that's right. Sif Minor. Indeed, indeed. Oh, no you. No you. Foolish me. There we go. Ulysses. Perfect. Well, thank you again, Safid, for having that one up on deck for us. It's like you knew. But okie dokie, now for the final time, of course, never a doubt in my mind, this is going to be the one that clutches it here. Let's get some of our skill training all set up in advance, auto pickups as well. And last but not least, get that dump file. Get yet another notepad text document up on my second monitor. Just to really feel that pain and misery creeping in. But it's that kind of thing that, you know, lights the fire in you. And that's important when you're playing as a fire elementalist, because you definitely want some gumption to take you along on the road here. This is a pretty decent spot for all of our fireballs. If we miscast, not so much, of course, but it is what it is. Perfect. Guess we should take a weapon really any weapon here while we have an opportunity. Yes, I would like to really tackle wield nothing game. Don't tell me what to do. Perfect. And once more, just head back out. You always have to be slightly careful of those fast buddies when you're on a fire elemental to start, but should be good to go. And yeah, this one we can't lose. Just got to make it to ignition. That's the thing. I think I like ice elementalists slightly more, but I still think that fire elementalists are probably my best start for the most part. It's tough between this or Earth Elementalist, but I think Earth Elementalist isn't my best start. It's the best overall odds because Earth is just so unanimously good once you get to like Iron Shot levels of success. But the Fire Elementalist, the fact that you can just fill a room with Foxfire so that even an early Ogre just runs face first into the fire and the flame is pretty fantastic stuff. I mean, you can even see from just this brief start here that we mostly just stand around and let all of our minion flames do all the heavy lifting for us, and I'm very much about that lifestyle. Let's pop ourselves into a corner. Perfect. And once more with feeling. Being in a hallway is not exactly ideal, but if we can just make it down to the end, we can then refill to our heart's content. Perfect. Oh, definitely need to get to a corner against a fast son of a gun like yourself. Lovely. Okay, you hit die. Perfect. Keep accidentally jumping out of vision of our enemies right as I try and send a minion their way, but that's totally fine. Look at what they need to mimic a fraction of our powers indirectly, probably. Hate to break it to you, but power doesn't do you a lot of good, you Cinder Acolytes, when Ignis is no longer there to hold your hand. Don't know why I'm talking so disrespectfully about Ignis, truly one of the most tragic figures in the entire game here. That's why I personally subscribe to the headcanon that getting out with the Orb of Zot revitalizes Ignis and gives them another shot at life. It's what they deserve, really, at the end of the day. Remember Magma Bolt? Liquid Hot Magma? Oh, fondly. Definitely do. I mean, it was nice because we got to have a run that pretty much leaned heavily on Magma Bolt as their main crutch just before it got removed from the game. So that was pretty fantastic. Just got Jivia on floor 1 and left the dungeon. Your mission was complete. Perfect. I mean, yeah, our Deep Dwarf was the earliest probably that I've gotten Jivia, and that was like a D2, D3 sewer. But if you do luck out and happen to get Jivia that early on in the game, it's pretty wild stuff. Though Deep Dwarves will always be my favorite example of that just because of how stupid it is to have regeneration on a Deep Dwarf. It's not even a little bit fair. What kind of dagger do you have, my friend? +2 dagger of draining? I would like. Please. Gib, please. I wouldn't mind learning Scorch. Right, we haven't played with too many Fire Elementalists since the last update into 0.28, actually, surprisingly enough. I feel like I'd tried to get out of my my groove a little bit because I was just tempted to go with Fire Elementalist on every single character. But we'll almost definitely learn Scorch and Conjure Flame, because why the heck not? In fact, get me started right away.